Talk to Mrs. Kubota and get out the door. How else may I be of service? You mentioned Coyote's Crusade. What is it? Coyote grew up in the Royale, but managed to escape that life. However, her cousin was apparently not so lucky. He came to town about a year ago and fell in with the wrong circle. He was introduced to sim chips and became addicted to BTLs. Coyote has been tearing her way through the chip houses for months now, searching for him, and acting as a one-woman cleanup crew. I'll be going now. I guess I probably gotta go back to Coyote and talk to her again. You're back. I think the highlights of the Wolves game will be on soon. Want to take a load off and watch it with me? Does Sam have a sister? Her brow furrows. Yeah, I think he did. He mentioned her once. It didn't sound like they got along that well. Your comlink chirps and the screen shows the smiling face of Officer Aguirre. If he's smiling, must be about money. Doc, there's been another Ripper murder. This one at the NTSB investigation facility down on the docks. You owe me for this. Huh. Put it on my tab. You there now? Better get here quick before McCluskey arrives. The image on your PDA dissolves as the call ends. Another Ripper murder? Where? Docs, I've got to go. Okay, listen. I want to help. You dragged me out of the Royale before. Something bad happened. Worse than getting my arm torn off. And Sam was my friend. You head to the docks and I'll see if I can track down Sam's sister Jessica. She might be able to help us. Alright, thanks. I appreciate the help. Take a cab to the South Seattle docks. Leaving the Seamstresses Union behind, you head to the docks. The Ripper killed Sam. Maybe he or she slipped up with his latest victim. Left some useful evidence. Only one way to find out. South Seattle's your typical industrial area. Grit, grime, and gray. The rain doesn't help matters any. Layers of dirt mixed with abandoned wood pallets, repurposed into makeshift furniture for the day. Workers, garbage collects. I like the makeshift furniture thing. I do that at work sometimes. I'll take some of the boxes, move them around, sit on it like an armchair. But garbage collects in the gutters of the broken down street. Disreputable is this district's middle name. This district's middle name. Say that 5 times fast. Your destination, the National Transportation Safety Board warehouse, is located on a small strip of dock toward the less maintained end of the waterfront. Despite the presence of those who linger in such places, it's quiet as you approach the gate. Alrighty. Walking along, singing a song. Wrong kind of song. Singing in the rain. Hey, you looking for a good time? Know anything about the NTSB? Yeah, the bums around here have been stealing old crap from that place for years. Not worth my time, though. Oh. Glad to know. Halt! The guard looks bored. He toys with his gun, absent-mindedly, like he might shoot something on a whim, just to watch it die. Hey, you're about to trespass on corporate property. You looking to get dusted, street scum? I'm working with Lone Star on the crime scene investigation in the NTSB warehouse. Sure you are. I'm Lofweir, King of Dragons. Beat it. Hey, you looking for a good time? Not me. Friend of mine. I need you to have some fun with the guard by the fence around the corner. He looks at you knowingly. All right, 20 buys you 5 minutes distraction. Then I've got to get back to work and earn some real new yen. Take this ladder. Hey, that's mine. Who raised ya? Pack of wolves? That there ladder is rightfully mine. I'm not taking it far. I just need a little boost over the fence. Oh, you're breaking into the NTSB warehouse too? If you see any of them airplane blankets or pillows, snag me one. Yeah, sure thing. Ooh, let's take this over here. And away we go. Karma candy, here's some more for you. We're about to transition to a new location. Continue? Yes. Inside the large gray warehouse is as typical as the outside. High ceilings adorned with girders and rickety catwalks. Top a huge utilitarian room. Concrete and steel walls meet the concrete floor. This is a place for storing things. Nothing more. Despite the quiet on the outside, the inside is a hornet's nest of Lone Star officers going about their business. In the center of the activity is the Emerald City Ripper's latest victim. With uniforms everywhere, no one stops you at the door. It seems this case hasn't leaked to the press yet. Lone Star or no, you've got a job to do. Took your sweet time, didn't you? You know the traffic these days. Fill me in. We had time to go over the evidence while you were en route. Turns out this might not be a Ripper murder after all. I left the computer on in the office over there if you want to see for yourself. The victim worked here at NTSB warehouse as a black box researcher. NTSB? National Transportation Safety Board. This warehouse is used to go over the wreckage from plane crashes to try to determine what happened. The Vic was in charge of their highest priority investigation at the moment. We've gone through the victim's computer, and his case notes indicate he was selling secrets. Idiot kept records. Scientists don't make good criminals. Tell me about it. Some runner like you probably offed him to cover up his courtmaster's involvement. Tried to make it look like a Ripper killing. Here's the office key. Check it out for yourself if you want. Sure. Let's see here. This appears to be the victim's locker. The door is slightly ajar. Inside you see several of the dead man's personal items. I'll leave the locker for now. Go to the computer. The researcher's work's cyber terminal has been left on, presumed by the Lone Star investigators. Read the notes for case file 95. Blah blah blah, boring stuff. Co-pilot takes over the controls as the pilot leaves the cabin to investigate the rear of the plane. File has been corrupted. Notes that appear on screen pertain to NTSB case file number 96, the crash of an Ares jetliner near the UCAS and Sioux Nation border. The crash is reportedly the result of an equipment failure. Reading further into the investigator's notes, however, you find substantial evidence linking the crash to an experimental Renraku research initiative. This information could be worth a great deal to the right buyer. You download the researcher's notes to your PDA. Redacted. Redacted. Leave the computer. What? This was a corp hit? Why'd they leave the evidence on the computer? Good catch. That information's probably worth a fortune if you found a buyer. And we'll talk to Dresden. Hello, Fuse. Surprised to see you here. Let me guess. Officer Aguirre tipped you off? Suppose you must have made an impression on him at the market yesterday, or your gredstick did, at any rate. Anyway, surprise! We got another Ripper victim on our hands. Looks like business is good for Dialomorg these days. Ah, yes indeed. The victim's male, mixed Native American descent, age 38. Based on the condition of the body, it looks like he was killed around 2 in the morning. Cause of death? Unknown. Several internal organs were removed from this body after death, quite gruesomely. Not sure if the killer even knew what they wanted before they started cutting. Not much else to tell yet. Really. He does have a lot of pre-existing scar tissue, so he probably had a major surgery at some point in recent history. Unfortunately, with the organs gone, I can't determine the nature of the surgery. Not quite how I'd want to go out. Well, it seems that the victim was quite dead before the organs were removed, so at least he had that going for him, don't you think? The killer definitely took the lungs. The more I look at it, though, the other missing organs may just be eviscerated within the chest cavity. How's Officer Aguirre doing on the case? He seems like a real go-getter. Aguirre would love to solve it before McCluskey and get his gold detective's shield. Plus, he loves to see McCluskey suck it in front of his superiors. He's already tried to bribe me to keep information from McCluskey and slip it to him. I'm inspired by their tireless pursuit of justice. Did you take the money? He grins from ear to ear. You have any idea how much this job pays these days, sir? I don't think Aguirre's officer's salary is going to do much to seduce me into helping him. Is McCluskey getting any closer to a suspect? McCluskey couldn't find his ass with both hands. Don't tell him I said that, though. Sounds like the Ripper is taking a different trophy from each victim. Dam's liver, this guy's lungs. Any theories? Sorry, I don't do theories. I'm just a scientist who happens to prefer dead people. However, while there was a massive damage in the chest cavity, I can see that the victim's lungs were transplants, which is interesting, since another victim's missing heart was also a transplant. Granted, modern medicine has made organ transplants relatively easy, but it is an odd coincidence. But, as a scientist, it's just that, a coincidence. This is only the third body I've personally examined. One of our other branch managers handled the other two. If I find out that more of the victims had organ transplants, I'll let you know. Who is that woman over there? No clue. She just showed up. Next to Ken, I think? I'm gonna go take a look around. Good luck out there. You're not a cop. I'm independent. What's your relationship to... okay. I see you've been praying. Do you know the deceased? Yes, he's my older brother. I've asked Bear to help me speak to him. She shakes her head, looking like one who has found herself lost for the first time in her life. But I'm afraid his spirit is too disoriented by his recent journey to answer me. You're a shaman? Yes, for all the good it's doing me. If I could just make contact, I might be able to deliver justice and allow my brother's spirit to rest. I can tell you're used to shouldering a heavy burden, but maybe there's an easier way. She looks at you, the flattery largely failing to affect her, given the circumstances, but then inspiration dispels the dark clouds surrounding her. Perhaps. My brother's spirit is too weak. That's a given. But my brother's spirit may not be alone here this night. She closes her eyes and concentrates, joining a low chant you can barely hear. Yes, there are others. Other spirits who may be of help. Her features harden in frustration, as if she's searching for something that remains elusive. Sighing, she opens her eyes and fixes you with a stare. But I can't do it alone. What do you need? This warehouse contains the spirits of plane crash victims trapped between worlds. They wish to help. They wish to be heard. And I think they have something to say about my brother's murder. Lone Star won't let me in there, but you seem to have the run of the place. If you can find personal items that belong to the victims, I believe that I can summon a spirit to speak with us. I'll need at least 2 such objects. Can you find them for me? I'll do what I can. There's a large pile of old shoes on the ground next to the airplane seat. They could be discarded luggage or possibly the shoes worn by the occupants of the plane at the time of the crash. Dig through the shoe pile. You find nothing interesting about the shoes in the pile. Walk away. Take note, DMs. That's how you do that. Yep, there's a shoe pile there. Nope, it's not important.